UK and Jager! Reload! And reset! And reset! Neon nights and radio noise. Two grown men making terrible choices. Leather boots and a barroom grin. One more round, let the chaos begin. UK shouting, turn it up. Jager yelling, that's not enough. Smoke and lights and a live cassette. Welcome to Reload and Reset. Oh, we ain't ever slowing down. We're gonna shake this whole damn town. Reload, everybody scream tonight. Reset, like the speakers dynamite. Hands up high, let the whole world sweat. We are Reload and Reset. Reload, turn the chaos all the way. Reset, we ain't sleeping anyway. Reload and reset. Cheap beer queens and tactical sins. Living like the 80s never ended again. Bad knees, but we still go hard like two drunk sergeants in a parking lot bar. Jaeger laughing with the 1,000-yard stare. UK screaming from a folding chair. Current events get verbally wrecked. Every episode's a train wreck. Oh, raise your glasses to the sky. Oh, we're too loud to ever die. Reload, everybody lose control. Reset, rock and roll overload. Turn it up and place your bets. Welcome to Reload and Reset. Reload, nothing left but neon lights. Reset and questionable life advice. Reload and reset. Hey, UK. Hey, Jager. Bad jokes, fast lives, probably getting canceled tonight. No breaks, no regrets, just reload and reset. Reload. 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 Raise your fist and shout it loud. Reset. Wake the neighbors with the crowd. One more drink and one more bet. This is Reload and Reset. Reload. Turn the madness way past 10. Reset. Do it all again and again. Reload and reset. R and R.
Hello and welcome to Reload and Reset. I couldn't hear the intro, so you'll have to bear with me there. How are you guys doing today? I'm UK Reject.
And I'm Jaeger.
Yes, he is. Has anybody noticed that Jaeger's rocking the Red Rocket microphone?
Yeah. Red Rocket.
1-800.
69 sex me.
So, first topic today is going to be cheaters, mostly about video games. But we might
Oh.
drag off our trail off into somewhere else. Who knows?
It's probably going to happen. It's going to go off the rails, I'm sure.
So occasionally you'll run across people, whether it be Call of Duties, Sand Raiders, or any of a mainstream game where people just don't, have the skill to compete with other players, so they resort to cheating. But ultimately, like, I don't really understand why people feel the need to cheat in a video game when it's like supposed to be your escape from reality. But people still do it.
Yeah, yeah. And it seems like it doesn't really matter the game either, man. Like some people will cheat over like the weirdest, wildest games.
Yeah.
So it's straight like I kind of get it in like the extraction shooters and stuff, kind of like you have with the like the sand game that you'd mentioned,
Mm.
because people are just you do get like some kind of real value from it, but like in like Battlefield or Call of Duty shit like that, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Aside from I guess like you gaining levels quickly maybe, but it's not even clean, so there's no. I don't feel like there's any real reward. You know what I mean? Like when you
Yeah.
go into a match, for example, and you whoop a cheater's ass in a match, that's way more rewarding than being the cheater who might win a match. You
Oh,
know what
yeah.
I mean?
And if you ever watch these fucking guys, when they get into a real firefight, they freaking panic, and it's like the cheats go out the freaking window. It's like, what are you guys
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah.
One
Yeah,
time
it's
I was
always interesting.
playing Warzone one time, and I ran across a team, and I was solo, so the rest of my team was dead, and I was like, ah, fuck. And there's 3 of these guys, and they come running up, and they're all like calling in their loadout, and then another team of 3 comes up, and they don't shoot at each other, and they call in their loadout. So there's 6 guys below me. I'm standing on a freaking rooftop, and all these guys are calling in their loadouts, getting geared out, and I'm looking at them like, oh, dude, I am so screwed here. And 100% of those guys were freaking cheaters, dude, because like they
Yeah.
were working together on
Yeah.
on Warzone. Like that doesn't happen.
Yeah. That's not very. I mean, I guess it technically could happen, like legit, but it's very uncommon and very unlikely.
Yeah,
Like if me and
this
you
was
rolled up on a team that were
before.
like, "Don't shoot us,"
Yeah,
before voice chat, like
this
the
was before
proximity chat.
proximity, so like
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense why they were doing it.
Yeah.
Unless they
Yeah.
just
No.
happened to get 2 teams of 3 in the same lobby.
Yeah, yeah. And so this is a way more like lighthearted conversation than I anticipated us having, because I was like, cheaters, oh god, like this is about to maybe blow up on somebody. I mean,
Yeah, just so you guys are aware, like when we come up with our topics, I write down like a hint for me to remember what I'm going to talk about. So Jaeger sees it and he's like, "What?"
Yeah, I was not ready for him being like, it's about video games. Like, oh, thank God. Like, woo. but yeah, so we kind of go into this blind, sort of like we have like like he said, a hint of the topic. But that's kind of what I don't know. To us, that's what makes it more genuine, because it's not
Yeah.
scripted at all, aside from like what we know we want to talk about.
Yeah.
And then every other point is the other, co-hosts topic to talk about.
Yeah, we're trying to keep it like a little bit like original, and like so we can both have input without we try so even like when we're talking about the podcast, like when we're not doing the podcast, if we start to talk about it, we'll tell the other person like, "Hey, shut up. We'll save it for the podcast. Your natural reaction needs to be on camera." So we try to be like all genuine with our like reactions. So anything I say, Jaeger is completely blindsided by, and same thing with him saying, and I'm blindsided, so but yeah, I just feel like if you're out there and you're cheating and you need to cheat, or you feel like you need to cheat, get better. You're trash.
Yeah, or go back to fucking Madden or whatever the fuck you play. You know what I mean? Like, just
RuneScape.
yeah, just leave it alone. Hey, I tried that game the other day with my my eldest, Anya. She's 11 now, and she got like really into it, and I was like, I don't really know much about the game. I think a couple of years ago, someone in our community, I can't remember who, had asked that we played it, and I tried it then, but it's just not my kind of game. Like there's nothing wrong with it. It's
all
just
grind.
not my style.
It's all grind. There's like no like peaceful exploration. It's just fucking all grind nonstop. It's like, what? People are selling shit for like crazy amounts of money too that they grinded all day for.
Yeah.
But since we already 100%. Brought up the second half of the topic, how many times have you seen someone come back from a 15-month deployment, and then their wife is like, "Hey, I'm pregnant. It's yours."
Yeah, yeah. And you're just like, no, that doesn't add up. You're 5 months pregnant. I've been gone for,
Yeah,
12 plus months.
yeah,
You
the
know,
baby's not here.
yeah. And I feel like it's kind of become like an even bigger, more common thing nowadays, honestly. So and I think that might have something to do, honestly, with like social media. I don't mean like just Twitter, but like like your Snapchats
Hmm.
and even like dating apps and shit like that. Like people are like unfaithful, which is crazy because like when you talk about like a 12, 15 month, your fucking spouse is gone. I'm not gonna say I get it, but it makes more sense than like, your spouse is sitting in the living room right now. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
But even then, like, it kind of gets into like, to me, like, I think a real question would be like emotional versus like physical cheating, and if there's really a difference. Because
Yeah.
people say that, right? Like they're always like, "Oh, it's way worse when the woman does it," because when the woman does it, it's more emotional. You know what I mean? Like, so there's like another aspect that's attached to it versus like when a dude does it. But I don't feel like
Mm.
it's really any different. You
Well,
know what I mean?
so I mean, I feel like guys will screw anything, right? Like you see a screw loose in a wall socket, like we're gonna screw it. Um, but women, like I feel like they need more emotional attachment, um, to go out and do the deed, so to speak. So like I'd say like it doesn't make it any better. But I think like there is more emotion behind like a woman cheating than a guy cheating, because like guys, like I said, like we're animals, like we see a piece of steak, we're gonna try to take a bite.
Right. Yeah. I guess I guess I can see that, but I don't really think there's a. I feel like there's some truth in it. Like it's a lot more difficult probably to come back from, really, but especially if both spouses are doing it,
Mhm, mhm.
which tends to happen pretty frequently, surprisingly,
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't know, man. I think that just kind of depends on the person really too. But like I don't know which one would really be worse technically. I feel like they're both equally pretty bad.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I don't think either one is excused by the other. Like a guy cheating is just as devastating as a woman cheating.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's what I was thinking.
it's just all around. Like nowadays, you just this like we talked about it last time on the podcast. See, now I'm doing it. Last time on the podcast, we talked about it too. It's just so easy nowadays to do it than it was back then. Because like back then, it was like you had your little Motorola flip phone that all you could do was text and send crappy, not even a megapixel picture. But
Yeah.
nowadays there's so many different ways of communicating with people. You got Discord, you got tons of like different gaming community stuff. You got Snapchat, you got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you got everything. There's so many now that you can't even name them all.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, I mean it's just so crazy now. So I mean like yeah, I mean it is what it is. And how many people have you seen too that come back from deployment and they just straight up accept it?
Yeah. 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 I mean, yeah. I guess it kind of like beckons the question, like, why do people cheat too?
Mhm.
And I don't mean just in like relationships, but in video games as well. Like just in general, like why would you cheat? And I think a lot of it just kind of comes down to like consistency in things. You know what I mean? So like with like a relationship, like there's obviously a plethora of reasons why people would cheat.
Mhm.
Um, it can just vary from so many fucking different things all the way up to like some people could even like classify it as like a mental issue, that's kind of caused them to do it.
Dopamine is a hell
Um,
of a drip.
oh yeah, yeah, DB nerd's right. I mean, there's that, people with like ADHD supposedly are like hypersexual, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Which I can totally attest to, but that
Yeah,
doesn't
you
that
should
doesn't
see
mean that I'm
me
gonna
and
go running
Jaeger.
around.
Me and Jaeger when we're alone together. It's like there's no
Yeah.
women here, but we'll float with each other.
Yeah, believe it or not, chat, we're actually really tame here.
Yes. Oh yes. This is us on our best behavior. You should catch us
Yes,
while we're alive.
this is us behaving.
This is us in the public spotlight.
Yeah. So I mean, which is funny because like when we're like over on like our own channels, if it's not the reload and reset channel, like we're not tame hardly at all. Like
Mm.
we have to ask when we jump into a fucking Discord, be like, yo man, are you
Anybody
streaming right
streaming?
now? Yeah.
Nobody's streaming, right?
Right? Yeah. So do I need my
100%.
nipple pasties or no? Do I need them or not?
But here's the thing, though, too. So even if they say they are streaming, we'll push the border.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. You'll hear softer terms, but we're saying the same thing, pretty much in a roundabout kind of way, you
Yeah.
know. But that's I think the consistency, like in whether it be a relationship or like you're playing a game, like you got like one of the guys from our community is like level 1000 or some shit right
Oh
now.
God. Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about. And he plays hardcore. Does he cheat? I don't think so. He just plays all the fucking time.
He's a grinder, but it doesn't make him good either, though.
Yeah, well,
sorry,
he's,
buddy.
He's good enough.
Sorry, good enough.
He's good enough to run around with. You know what I mean? But he can also get like super aggressive about it. Whereas like you and I are just kind of like dick it off. We're just like, well, that fucking happened.
I don't give a crap about video games. Like I enjoy to play them. If I'm doing good, I don't really care. Like my motto is, we'll fight everybody. Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Whether or not like we're gonna do a really good job doing it.
Yeah,
it's a different story. But coming back to it, like I feel like a lot of it is people chase that feeling of feeling wanted, feeling needed or loved. So like I get it. Especially like people who have like ADD and stuff, like things get kind of like stale.
Yeah,
and there's no like adventure anymore, so like people go a little bit buck crazy, But again, there's no reason for it. You should probably just reach out to your significant other and approach the issue that you're having and try to resolve it together.
Yeah, I mean, communication is key in literally any kind of relationship, whether it's like a physical like partnership like you have like with like your significant other, or even like a relationship like you and I have. You know what I mean? Like, which I guess some people could argue is the same thing, but
we're definitely in a relationship.
But like down to just playing video games. You know what I mean? Like communicating in like Warzone is pivotal. If you don't do that, and you see it time and time again. If you got like one random, but you got 3 guys playing like Warzone together, those 3 guys typically do really well, and that 4th guy just keeps getting shit on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So. And that's because he or she's not communicating, and there's no way for that other team to communicate. And sometimes it's not even your fault, right? Like that other 3 guys are in like a Discord somewhere, and they can't even hear you, or they can't even respond. Like me in Gray Zone, for example, I can't ever talk to nobody, So it's usually like being ran through as like retrans for fucking with UK, like
It's like, who the fuck is UK talking to? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it.
He's my little secret.
So it really doesn't matter like what kind of relationship, be it work, a significant other, just video games, whatever. Like communication's pretty fucking pivotal, and if you don't have that, it's pretty easy for things to fall apart. So if you look at it in like a video game aspect, if you're not communicating in the video game world, on a regular basis, you're probably also not doing that with other things. You know what I mean? You're not communicating your needs to like your friends, or like how many times have I like fucking reached out to you and just be like, man, and vented? You know what I mean? Like just like went on a rant,
And I will say this too, like it goes both ways too. Don't expect the other person, because me and Jager are guilty of this too. Don't expect the other person to message you, because the other person's probably waiting for you to message them. So like me and Jager, like we'd be like, hey, we're gaming tonight in the morning, and then we both could be like, yeah, we're gaming. And then I'll wait for him to message me at night whenever he's available, because his schedule's a little bit crazier than mine. But meanwhile, he's sitting there waiting for me. So it's like, I probably should have just been like, hey, what time do you want to game? But I'll sit there and wait all night like, this motherfucker.
Yeah. But see, like, I mean, normally, like, and also, like, if you communicate with me, you kind of have to do it like 2 or 3 channels. You know what I mean? It's just the way I am. Like, my ADHD brain be pinging on the reg, So
yeah.
And that just comes like, that's kind of like a me thing too. Like, and I've gotten better about it, but I'm still really bad about it. Like, and so that just speaks volumes for how I was before, So like, and that's just I really, I keep saying it, but I think it's an ADHD thing. Cause like, if I'm sitting there, like watching a show, for example, with Caitlin, I'm not looking at my phone. Like she'll look at her phone and like check like messages and stuff while she's watching, Walking Dead or whatever. But like me, I'm invested in it until I'm not. If like, it's like one of them slow ass, like, going back in time and showing you what happened in the past things, I'm probably not paying attention to that, and so I'm more likely to respond.
See,
but there's like zombies everywhere.
Oh yeah. See, I'm like almost the exact opposite, dude. Because like for me, I have ADD as well, But like for me, if I hear my fucking phone vibrate, because I don't usually have it on loud, but if I hear it vibrate, I'm like, ooh, what could it
Hmm.
be?
What is this? It could be important. It could be
The
cool.
possibilities are endless, and it's usually some fucking news thing that I'm not even interested in, and I just swipe it off, you know?
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like,
I don't even
oh,
want to get into that. Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, so like I've been like trying to like be more consistent with it. It's been kind of more difficult now since I've been doing like the overnight work. But trying to be more consistent with like just
excuse me.
communication and consistency is, I feel like is super important. You know,
Yeah.
and now
Um,
I don't text you back because I'm not trying to get the big old D. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't text you back, Angie.
yeah.
You know,
Some
I don't need to get caught.
Mad Cow's a little rough.
Yeah, Mad Cow man, he's a little bit too big for me.
Oh, that freaking I laser engraved that like miniature samurai knife, and Mad Cow like pretended to be a samurai and like commit seppuku, or you commit suicide for the honor of your daimyo, and he
Yeah.
goes he looks at me dead in the face and he goes, "Oh, you have finished me." And I was like, "No, no, Mad Cow, that's not what they said. That's what you say in the bedroom."
Yeah, that's what you say in the bedroom, man. Yeah, but that's where I'm at with the topic of cheating. Like honestly, like if you're gonna if you're in it, like I'm not judging you or anything like that. We know that there's reasons and shit. I'm not gonna judge you for it. Is it fucked up? Yeah, you already know it is. You don't even have to ask us that. You already know it is.
And I
Um,
feel like it's just as bad doing it just in spite of the other person doing it as well. Like, okay, any chances of fixing it is now completely trashed and out the window.
yeah, more than likely. I mean, like there's some people that like they can
Some people
recover
are
from it
fucking
or
weird,
whatever.
but I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell you right now, if I catch you cheating on me, it's over. Like, done,
yeah,
over.
yeah.
Like
I wish I had learned that earlier.
yeah, yeah. And I learned real quick. Like, I'm not invested anymore. See you.
Yeah, yeah. You obviously weren't, so I'm not anymore.
Yeah.
But that I don't know.
And
That transitions over to me for me, like into my topic. If you're done with that one,
yeah,
um, like when I said consistency and stuff, it's like a form of discipline, right? Like I even set like alarms and shit for like the podcast. Like at 10:30, I need to start getting ready for this podcast.
mm,
Which right now nowadays that's me about 3 hours or so, maybe four into sleep. So it's kind of a weird thing for me right now, but having that consistency, it's important to have that discipline in whatever it is, so that you can kind of focus and really get somewhere. Because like, my topic, my little hint, if you will, Chad, is discipline versus motivation, and for us, this is an easy concept because we're both NCOs in the Army. And we are taught the importance of like motivating your troops,
mm,
and like why it's such an important piece. But motivation is a temporary thing, right? Discipline lasts. So like if you think about it like a tree, discipline is the tree and motivation is just the fruit of it, you know? And you have to put a lot of work into that tree to keep it alive, in my opinion, and you have to have like-minded people around that'll help support you, kind of going back to the topic that we had, last week about the tribe, like why it's important for a person to have a tribe. Um, so I think that the more that the more discipline you have, the more consistency you have, like it gets rid of like the waiting until you feel like it moment, right? Like going to the gym, for example, right? Like everyone knows they need to be healthier, and again, going back to last week, that challenge that we have, the 30 for 30 right now. Those guys are building discipline right now. They're motivating one another by seeing each other's videos of doing 30 push-ups, which doesn't sound like a lot to a lot of people, but some people, man, there's one gal that just joined that couldn't even do 2 push-ups. Now she can do 2, and I'm like, hey, dude, you're fit. You've done a 50% increase in your productivity. Like,
yeah.
so maybe you can't hit 30, but like you just did 50% better than you did the last time. That's a huge percentage. You know what I mean? Granted, we're not talking like going from 30 to 60,
But
but still,
now next week it better be 4.
yeah, it's probably gonna be 4 because she's doing, as many as she can, which might only be 2 right now, but a week from now she could be hitting 4 or 8. You know what I mean? As
Mm,
long as she stays consistent with it, which is all the challenge really was about, was like to promote like awareness, of like the veterans, because the number just keeps going up that are inflicting self-harm, I guess is the nicest way to say it. you know um and if and it doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but like because they're having that consistency, they're every fucking day I'm seeing them. It doesn't matter if it's a quote unquote rest day, they're doing it every day, 7 days a week. you know and some of them are doing more than 30, and that's good. But like the discipline, the consistency is where it's at. So all these guys are doing it like just before they start work, like most people do with like going to the gym. Like they're starting it before they go, and do their actual work day. So building a routine instead of like relying on inspiration from like some fucking bald dude on Twitter who's giving you some inspirational or motivational quote, that's why, like, if you look at my Twitter, most of mine aren't motivational. It's usually like, hey, I'm disappointed in you because past you's disappointed in you. Like that's what most of my posts are, if it's not related to the podcast. And it's not me being a dick, but I am being a dick at the same time. And I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm just being sincere, So like if you look at like past you 10 years ago, like would that guy be okay with UK? Like with UK today? Like I think so, because UK's like gone and chased his dreams and whatnot, and he's doing what he's doing now. But I also wasn't, UK in his 20s, so only UK knows if he's
UK's
actually
in my 30s. So
yeah. Only UK knows if he's actually, making that UK proud or not. So I think creating consistency is more important than like just getting a little motivation. Motivation is an important piece. Obviously that's a thing, but I think your discipline is what helps you provide your own motivation and in turn inspires others.
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
kind of like,
there's a big difference between like discipline and motivation, because I mean, motivation to me is like the energy you bring to the thing you're gonna do, right? Whereas the discipline is the way you're gonna do it. Like, so if you're gonna do a push-up, right? If you're gonna do 10 push-ups, you're gonna just try to knock them out fast. But
yeah,
if you have the discipline, you're gonna try to knock them out to the perfect ability, right? Well, having your arms parallel to the ground, whatever. Motivation, I mean, it can be faked, which false motivation is better than no motivation, which it's an old army thing there for you.
yeah,
But if I wake up in the morning and I'm like, and my whole motivation is just, ugh, today's gonna suck.
yeah,
It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad because you're gonna make it bad.
yeah,
And like if I wake up and I have the feeling where I'm like, oh, today's gonna suck, but I'm gonna make the best of today I can. I'm gonna have a really good day, no
yeah.
matter what
Like,
happens. I mean, honestly, it's gonna be really hard to shoot that down. But I feel
yeah,
like a lot of people who struggle with like depression and stuff, yeah, there's not much you can do. There's not much you can say to get over it. I suffer from depression myself. I'm guilty. But I feel like a little bit of false motivation will make it a little bit better.
no, yeah. I mean, that's why it's such a thing. You know what I mean? Like, because I mean, how many times were you like, you got some stupid ass commander's intent, right? And you're just kind of like, I get that that's the commander's intent, but how the hell am I going to make this work? Well, that's the job of the NCO, right? Like, we know what the commander wants, And granted, it's passed down from like the first sergeant and like your chiefs and shit, and what have you. But at the end of the day, like your objective, like at that point, is to make this stupid thing that nobody wants to do happen. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's kind of the point, because success it often is really boring before it becomes exciting. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So like think of like a combat inspection with fucking supply. Nobody wants to do that. Not even the supply guys who are trained to do that wants to do that. But you had combat inspection, for those who don't know, you have to do like a full blown every last nut and bolt for everything that fucking exists in your unit. You're inspecting. You're making sure that it's working properly. And I'm like, that's literally down to the fucking nuts and bolts. I'm not playing.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do that shit. But if you get 100%, which is super fucking rare, but if you get 100%, that is super exciting. Not just for you, but like for your commander and your entirety of your unit. And the same can be said for many things. You know what I mean? Like, it's not exciting to go out there and start a fucking garden, right? But once you fucking harvest your first yield from that garden, that's exciting.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication.
I remember when I was a kid, man, it was like the stupidest thing ever, but I had a stick insect, right? A few Americans, I think you call them something else. I can't remember what you guys call them.
Stick bugs.
Stick bugs. But I had a stick insect, and they're not common at all in the UK. And I had this thing, and it was probably, this big. That's about 6 inches for most of you.
Yeah.
But it was huge. It was enormous. But so I had one, and I remember like I used to take care of this thing. This was like one of my first real pets, right? Which is an interesting real pet because they're kind of fucking creepy. But I learned so much just taking care of this thing. They breed asexually. They don't need a partner.
Oh.
I came home one day and I about fucking cried my eyes out because it looked like there was a ton of ants inside its enclosure, and I kept it like super clean. Um, but their little eggs look like little like super super tiny little olives. Um,
Huh.
but yeah, so like I got home and then I think I had to have been like 6 or 7. And I screamed at
Yeah.
the top of my lungs, "I'm a dad! I'm a dad!" I had like 40 little baby stick insects,
Yeah.
which is fucking crazy, dude. But like, it just goes to show you, like, the work you put into something, and what you get out of it is so rewarding, especially when you have to take care of something like a garden or just tending to something daily. Eventually you
Yeah.
get the reward, and the good feeling you get from doing it is just super rewarding.
Yeah, I mean, it's massive, and that's the thing too. Like small daily wins, those compound into massive results. You know, I mean,
Mhm.
like again, using the gym is just I feel like a generalized, you know, example. But like those doing it daily, doing whatever it is, and working towards your goal daily. That's more realistic. And that's why you have like these realistic goals in the gym, or you have these realistic goals for your unit or whatever that you're working in, even your relationship. You know, these little these little wins constantly. Like, yeah, it's boring or whatever. Like you're going in and doing the remedial bullshit. And doing the same thing that you just did last week in the exact same order almost.
Mhm.
But it does, like, it compounds into like massive dividends for you. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, your PR will get better, your relationship will get better. Just whatever it is, even if you're just going into a fucking war zone and getting your ass kicked for like 3 weeks straight, you're still going in 3 weeks straight, and you're going to get better slowly but surely.
Yeah. It's
Um,
it's like one of those things too, like, you go to the gym, the worst thing for your motivation is setting unrealistic goals. You go
oh,
in there
100%.
and you're like, "I'm gonna do 1,000 push-ups, 1,000 pull-ups, I'm
Yeah.
gonna run 16 miles." It's not realistic, you're not gonna
Right.
do it, not unless
Yeah.
you're a freaking Terminator.
Yeah.
But doing that is gonna destroy all motivation you have, not to mention your body's gonna be destroyed the next day. Just doing a little bit at a time builds muscle. Doing this with your arm for an hour is a
Yeah.
pretty decent workout, and you're not
Yeah.
doing nothing.
Yeah.
And all it's doing is flexing muscles, right? So set
Right.
realistic goals. And then from doing this, go to holding a freaking soup can or something, or a gallon of milk, or whatever. Like,
Right.
keep upgrading, don't downgrade, but set realistic goals, because if you set unrealistic ones, your motivation's going to be shot. Your
Yeah.
mindset's never going to be there, and you're more likely to give up.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. And then that really, it really impacts your happiness too. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
because motivation's one thing, right? We talk about it being this fleeting thing where you get like these little, like dopamine hits, if you will, for like 15, 30 minutes or whatever. You know, but it if you don't succeed in what you're trying to do, what you've been motivated to do,
Mhm.
and you don't do it relatively quickly, then it really takes a hit on like your happiness. And that's it kind of bleeds into, I guess, our third topic. I didn't mean to do that, but it does kind of happen
Yeah.
where it's like it's all about choosing your mindset, right? Is happiness a choice? Um, and I think that it is. Like I had mentioned this the other day, where Caitlin's asked me like, "How are you always in such a good mood?" Look, dude, like all the shit that I've been through, it doesn't matter what the civilian life throws at me. Like it can't be worse than what I've been through already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've got this shit. Um,
I'm not gonna give
so
out, like, personal information about me, but, like, let's just say I have been through a lot of crap in my life, right? And that's probably one of the reasons why me and Jaeger get along so well, is because we've both been through some pretty rough shit, right?
trauma
Um,
bonding.
Trauma bonding, yeah. We wrap each other in bandages. It's called
Yeah.
bondage. A
Yeah.
bandage? Bandage. Bandage.
Bandage.
Uh,
Yeah.
but, yeah, I mean, what's up, chair? Yeah, so, I mean, like,
Oh, what's up, man?
we, forgot where I was going. But oh yeah, I've been through a lot of crap in my life. I'd never want to do that again. I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
We've been
Yeah.
through a lot of crap in our lives, and you know, it's 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 not about like putting on this persona, like pushing it back deep into your body and forgetting it ever happened. The
No.
key is to always try, whether it's fake or real, to inflict your what. So when you walk into a room, I don't want to say your light, but like your happiness and your mood onto other people, right? Because if you surround yourself with positive people, you end up becoming positive yourself. You surround yourself with
Hmm.
negative people, you're gonna be a negative person. Um,
Right.
Look at, for example, Robin Williams, one of the best actors ever, one of the best comedians ever. He died of depression. You would never guess by looking at his movies or his interviews that that guy is depressed.
No.
And that's because he fakes it till he makes it, right? You
Yeah.
put on this show of happiness, and I do this. I'm a strong believer in this myself. I do it. Some days I'm having a shitty day, and I want to pretend to be happy that day, and I will pull people's strings all damn day because it makes me freaking happy. All right. And then other people will listen in. They're happy now. They'll laugh at
Yeah.
the stupid shit I say. Fake it till you make it, baby.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a weird fine line too, because like I think that chasing happiness can actually make you less happy too. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
especially if you don't achieve it.
Yeah, like the chair said here, you know, like don't be a negative Nelly. Like it is about your mindset, right? Like it is about your mentality and stuff. But you can do it to a point where it's going to going back to the unrealistic goals. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Mhm.
Like you trying to be as happy or as laid back or as chill as Jaeger isn't gonna work for you if
Yeah. If you don't
you've
have that
not been like
mindset.
had the mindset for it. If you haven't had the practice of the mindset for it, because you're like when you wake up and say, "Oh fuck, it's a Monday," you know, every fucking day is a great day above ground. If you ask me, you know, and some of us in this chat have been a little bit too close to not waking up to realize like how important that is. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like we know how important that is because of what has happened. You know, so like not being a negative Nelly, like the chair has said, you know that
That's
that's an
Trevor,
important
by the
thing
way,
to
guys.
remember. Yeah, the chair is Trevor. If you didn't know, you know, if you ever like hung out in our streams, you've met Trevor. You know, he is the chair. But and he's also the ground too. Oddly enough, you know, it gets complicated. But I think like if you're trying to achieve an unrealistic goal, be it in the gym or with your own fucking happiness, you know that can make you more depressed because you're over here striving to be something that you're just not ready to be yet. You know, some people you just kind of have to sit in it, you know what I mean, and kind of wallow in it a little bit. Maybe not outwardly, but you need to like reflect and be like, okay, like this is why this sucks. You know, and you
Yeah.
need to kind of dissect the problem before you can actually truly project happiness. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, and it kind of goes back to just talking to the people in your life. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the times, for me, I'll like reach out to, you know, not even just UK, but just people in general and just be like, you know, these are my problems. And, I'm just venting and they know that, you know what I mean? And it's an important thing for me to have I'm a busy guy, you know, like, so I don't have a lot of time to have that self-reflection, you know?
And, yeah,
So when I do,
and I think too, like again, like depression is a real thing, guys. So don't brush it off as if it's like a fake thing. Um, but like I suffer from depression, and I fake happiness until like I am happy, right? But the thing is, there's certain people, and we've had these people in our community before, whereas their depression is worse than mine. Um, but it will completely destroy me mentally to just listen to them vent about their shit, right? Know your crowd and know who you're venting to. Talking to another person with depression about your depression isn't always the best thing, right? Probably going somewhere somewhere else probably is the best thing, because there's times where like I just can't deal with it and I'll brush it off and ignore you, right? It's not because I don't love you, it's just because your depression I can't sink, because if I do it then I get into a slump. So um again, it like happiness is like I'd say it is a choice, and the only reason why is because the mindset that you're putting in is what you're gonna get out of it. If you go in there with a bad mindset, you're not gonna get happiness.
yeah, I mean, and that's, you know, like I guess that's what I'm trying to say when I say chasing it isn't going to work for you.
Yeah.
You know, like you can't really chase it. You just have to wake up and make the choice that you're going to strive to be it. But again, if you haven't like come to terms with your reality, if you haven't come to terms with what's actually bogging you down, then it's gonna make you less happy because you're gonna be like, I'm not as happy as that bald dude or that fucking guy with the glorious fucking goatee. You know, like it's just gonna it's gonna upset you more because you hadn't reached where you feel like you should be, you know?
Mhm.
Whereas like what we're talking about here is like you wake up, yes, it's a fucking Monday, it might be your day one of going to work or whatever, but you know, you woke up, you got friends, and if you don't have friends, you need to go and try to strive to find your tribe, your community, whatever you want to call it, you know, because those individuals, they will help you get through it, and they're going through the same thing, whether they outwardly project it or not. They're going through the same things. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's a different paint job or whatever, right? Just like a Call of Duty map, but it's the same shit. All right, it's the same shit. So,
Yeah.
um,
And like, you know, again, like it's just who you surround yourself with. Be positive. And then I feel like a lot of it too is chasing like the silver linings, right?
yeah,
Like Jaeger said, but I woke up. For me, it's like I wrecked my car, but I'm still alive. And I
yeah,
challenge
I'm still
everyone
here.
who's watching to come up with a bunch of bad scenarios and then come up with a bunch of positive silver linings for those scenarios. And because it's a good training technique for things in the future. If something bad happens to you, you should know how to look for the silver linings, right?
Right.
There isn't always a silver lining, but challenge yourself to always chase that silver lining because there's probably one somewhere, even if it's not as great as the bad thing, right? Um, like if I wrecked my car, I'd be freaking devastated. That's my dream car, right? I've always wanted that.
Yeah,
That's my favorite freaking color and everything. If I wrecked
yeah,
it and it was totaled, I'd be destroyed. Not gonna lie, but the silver lining is I'm still alive, but
right.
I would be fucking pissed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that's okay too. You know what I mean? Like it's you know, and that's why I said it's like it becomes a mentality. You know, it becomes a mindset. And also, yeah, Trevor, like that exactly, dude. Like that's the kind of thing that we're talking about here. Like, and you still have bad days, even though you went through that. You know what I mean? And just so you know, like it has a personal touch for me. I know you know that, but you know, like what you had dealt with like the cancer, for example. You know, like even though you survived all of that, it's easy for you to kind of like fall back into that mentality, right? Like feeling like you look like a zombie and whatnot. You know, like you see yourself in the mirror and you just can't fucking stand it. You know, like I get it, man. You know, and honestly, if it wasn't for the community, I don't know if I would have gotten out of my slump when it come to my own personal struggles. You know, because there were times where I'd see myself and hated myself looking at myself in the mirror. You know, even though I would try to wake up. You know, and be like, all right, I don't care what day it is. Like, it's all good above ground. You know, like there were days, man, where it was terrible. You know, and if it wasn't for the community, if it wasn't for the tribe, like I'm not gonna say I would have done anything crazy, but you know,
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever would have been able to get out of that slump if it wasn't for having, the community. Like, I mean, there was one time, and they still give me shit for it to this day, but there was one time where I was sitting there and I was trying to play a game but couldn't, and I had to keep going to the bathroom, and it was very bad. you know,
Constipation was
um,
real.
yeah, it
It
was
was
because at the
nothing
time
it was nothing
yeah,
but gifts in that
it was
chat
nothing but dude,
for
it
like
was so
for like
bad.
a solid hour, dude. It was just
Yeah.
every gif you could
Oh,
imagine about struggling to go to the bathroom was in there.
yeah, it was there. It was there. And some of them didn't even relate, but you just see the guy over there like, like it's just like but and as much as it sucked going through it, and it hurt laughing at the time, it really got me through it in its own weird way, you know?
Well, think
Um,
about it too though. So like I don't know if you remember, but because you got that weird shitty memory. But um like there was a time like it was hard it was a hard time like you couldn't obviously work. So Sammy was like, I'm gonna send this guy some food, but I want proof that he's actually eating it because you had issues eating, right? So there's a
yeah.
picture of Jaeger going on a freaking chicken sandwich, um
Yeah.
which was freaking hilarious. It's all about like, yeah, you might be going through a bad time, but if you surround yourself with positive people and people who love you, you can surround yourself with positive people who don't love you, and you're probably not going to be very well off. But if you surround yourself with positive people who love you and care about you, you're going to have a blast no matter what it is, right? So
Yeah.
I guarantee you during that time period, you probably had some of the worst moments in your life, but at the same time, you probably had some of the best.
Yeah, some of them were probably the funniest for sure,
Yeah.
you know? So, I mean, oddly enough too, because you're going through this just like super traumatic thing, you know? Um, I think a lot of that kind of comes down to like my own personal like accountability. Granted, like the stuff that like Trevor's talking about and shit, you can kind of chalk that up to like maybe diet and shit like that, which does make that Trevor's, responsibility, his accountability, but in the same token, you can't really avoid some things either, So I think I think it's an important thing to like to try to have happiness as a goal, but making it more of a purpose is more important. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And for me, like as a father, like it's important that I project certain things, so that my kids feel stable, they feel safe, despite all the shit that I might be going through, be it financially or whatever, they're not going to know that, from me. I'm not going to tell them that. They're not going to see worry or stress, from me. Even in those moments, like I would strive to make it a point that they wouldn't see that, because they're children, they don't understand like what's happening and what's going on, you know. They just know that something's wrong. And do
Yeah.
I want to stress out, people that I love, because I'm just having a shit day, like whatever the reason might be, like nah, dude. So it does come back down to like the mentality. You know what I mean?
I will say though too, again, know your audience. Your kids probably don't need to know, nor should they know that you're struggling, but you should have the accountability to know that you can reach out to certain people, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and they called you Uncle UK before then, but I mean, like,
They it was just because I kept sending them nice stuff. So I mean, they're using me. Your kids are gold diggers, and I'll
Probably.
happily provide.
I'm teaching them right. But so like gratitude and happiness, man. Like that's what I would say
TOUK.
specifically about this. TOUK. What does TO mean? Does that mean uncle?
Uncle, yeah.
Oh, okay. I can't do the tonguey languages, Angie. I'm gonna be honest. But,
He can do the tongue and he just can't do the tonguey languages.
yeah, exactly. It's yeah. So, but I mean, it kind of sort of in a weird roundabout way, like touches base on like into my next topic, which is why do so many people refuse accountability in things? Like you have excuses versus like explanations and
That's
shit all
my
the time.
topic, by the way.
Victim, yeah. But I mean, it's a good topic, and I think it's an important one. It's weird, like how a lot of the times we come in, like we had mentioned earlier, we come into these blind, but a lot of our topics end up being related. You know what I mean? And it's almost every time they do. Maybe not so much when we do the global topics, right? Like we're having like world events or whatever.
Maybe we just have this rare skill that we can just merge anything. We start talking about one thing and we can drift off into another. It's an easy skill we have.
Yeah, we also just hang out entirely too much. So that could be a lot of the reason too why it happens, But like I said, like
we finish each other's
sandwiches.
I was hoping you was going to say that too.
But I just think like for me, like when I saw this topic, I thought it was a really interesting one because like my mentality and stuff with like the the 168 hours in a week, for example, thing that I talk about even in my book, I've never fully understood like why people got like so defensive instead of just being like, yeah, you're right, like I fucked up, or yeah, you're right, I didn't do that, that's on me,
Well, why? Why is because they don't have the accountability.
Yeah, like why don't they have the accountability? That's what I mean. Like, why do we have the victim mentality versus like real hardship? And people like learn to apologize, right? But it's not like sincere. There's no actual change.
You ever hear me say sorry? I mean it, because I don't say sorry. Like, I don't. I'm not that person. But if I do say it and I mean it, if I saying it to you one-on-one, I mean it, and it's because I have the accountabilities. I probably fucked up. Enough to where I should apologize.
That's a pretty strong trait too with a lot of European people. I noticed, just in my travels and stuff, and even like coming from a German family, like they don't apologize for shit unless it is their fault.
I'm just going to say
they'll
this.
apologize for stepping
all
on your fucking
Germans
toe.
should say sorry.
Yeah, the ones that were held accountable for that already did.
1942. 1943.
That's completely different. I feel like we're talking about a different topic there.
I have accountability.
But I think a lot of people, like when it comes to this topic, and why I like this topic so much is like a lot of people will really benefit if they just looked in the mirror before they started pointing fingers. Because most of the time that's what they're going to do. They're going to be like, oh, that was UK's fault, or
you point a finger
whatever.
at someone, you got three guys pointing right
guys
back
point
at
right
you.
back. Yeah, that's why we knife hand in the military.
And by the way, I hate that saying more than anything. Because you know what? You know what's
so,
between those three fingers? One of fucking these. And I did it with the wrong
yeah.
finger on purpose, guys. Speaking of, Abyss will have a bad day, and she'll and again, it's one of those things like looking for the silver lining, right? You might have a really shitty day, but doing something stupid might make your day. So we did this thing, and I would look at it. We do this to each other, which means like I love you.
Yeah.
So I'll go like this to get her attention, and I'll like fake it, and I'll go and roll it up into one of those bad boys. But it's like a weird thing now. Like if she's having a bad day, she'll do it and it'll make her giggle. And looking for that silver lining, man. Having the accountability doesn't also apply for like blaming yourself for something. It's also holding yourself to the standard of trying to make yourself a better person or better or happier, right?
Yeah, and sometimes it takes like just some stupid off the wall bullshit, like earlier today before I started like coming in here for this podcast. You know, buck ass naked, getting out of the shower. I started dancing to some random ass like bubblegum pop fucking 1950s song that showed up on Alexa for some reason.
It's
No,
Raining Men.
shut up,
I'm
Alexa.
not gonna lie. It's Raining Men.
I don't even remember what it was, dude. It was like that like sweet Jean or something like that. It's a fucking old ass song, you know.
Billie Jean.
And so I started I was just like dancing, like, you know. If you didn't know, by the way, you know, if you're not seeing this and you're just listening, I'm white as fuck. Okay, so like dancing doesn't happen.
Well,
so
you're not the only one. We use fake cameras to make ourselves look tan.
Yeah, we actually don't even look like this.
Yeah. Well, I'm 100% white. When I get blood drawn, it's the easiest task possible for whoever's doing it.
Yeah, you can translucent, damn near. Like if you miss our veins, you probably didn't go to school for this shit.
Well, we're both European bloodlines. We're allergic to the sun in every way possible.
And no, that's why I'm okay with working nights. To be honest with you, the sleep thing sucks, but it is what it is.
I'm getting a sunburn from the lights.
Yeah, but do you think that like just getting back into the, you know, why do so many people refuse accountability topic here? Do you think that a lot of people they lack the accountability because they can go like so instantly to like social media, give their side of the story, and then make themselves look like the victim because the way they word it? Do you think that that's the reason why effectively responsibility and accountability is becoming so rare?
I honestly don't feel it really. Personally, I don't feel like it really has anything to do with social media. I feel like social media is probably a part of it, but I feel like deep down inside every single person, you have this thing built into you where you either choose to listen to it or ignore it. You know what's right. You know what you're supposed to do. Stop being a bitch and have accountability.
Yeah.
If you said something wrong, you know you said something wrong, whether you said it or not. Like I'll make jokes, and I know I probably shouldn't make certain jokes, but I did it anyway.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: I have the accountability to if I know someone is hurt by what I said, I will apologize and try to make it right. But I feel like having accountability for your actions or whatever, I think most of it stems down to having zero consequence, because accountability is based off of consequences, right?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much that, you know, and you know what could come from it. And it's weird too, because like every time that I've been like held myself accountable to something that like I fucked up on, you know, like say like with my work or whatever, you know, and like operations and shit. If I fucked up on it, I'm just gonna tell you, dude, like I fucked up on it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, that was me. Don't blame this guy that could easily have just taken the blame. You know,
hold on,
don't blame this guy.
I got one of these for someone. All right, continue. Continue.
I just mean, you know, I assume that's probably to Sam, but yeah, that is just who he is, by the way, Angie. That's just who, well, really who we are in general. And yes, Trevor, the chair, you are correct. Everyone just seems to want to play victim instead of just try to correct the behavior. You know what I mean? So I think that I think it's pretty important for people like who are just sitting here constantly apologizing right, but not actually changing. Like that's an important trait to like pick up on people in your community or your tribe or your friend group, whatever. Everyone's got that one guy who's gonna be like, oh my bad, I'm sorry, but doesn't fucking mean it. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah,
they're gonna do the same thing a week from now.
I'm gonna bring this up just because you're a piece of shit for this, but someone who will apologize for falling asleep in a fucking recliner while his buddies are waiting for him, and he says sorry, doesn't fucking mean it.
I mean, I feel like I mean it, like in my defense too, like here lately, sort of here lately, I feel like there is medications and what have you involved, if you want to call it medication. Some people do.
No, but no. This was before those medications. Don't even.
It was a thing before. Not to be fair though, before the medications, Sam was way worse about it than I was.
I don't know if that's entirely true.
Yeah, we were at least equals, at the very least. At least equals.
You're really stretching. Have accountability, Jager. Hold yourself to a higher standard, baby.
Yeah, it is what it is. But I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with the accountability thing. Like owning up to like your mistakes and shit, and trying to like accept the accountability and whatnot, and take responsibility for like what's yours. You know what I mean? Like what you were actually in charge of. You know how easy it'd be for me to just be like, oh, that was the kids were supposed to do the dishes. I don't know why there's still some dirty dishes. Yeah. Even though I'm the one who fucking did it. I could easily do that shit. I'm not going to.
I told you guys to do the dishes. I ate a sandwich 10 minutes ago and made a plate dirty.
Yeah. And you didn't do it.
But so, I mean, it's kind of ironic. Like we didn't try to do this at all, but if you look through each topic that we have, so topic 1 is cheaters. Topic 2 is discipline and motivation. Topic 3 is happiness is a choice. And then topic 4, accountability. Here's the thing. Each one of those topics really, really closely intertwined, right? Because look at like motivation leads to happiness, right? Discipline would also eventually lead to happiness, because if you have the discipline to do it right the first time, you won't have to do it a second time, which is going to make you unhappy. Having accountability for your actions is going to make you a better person. And it's going to make you hold other people to a higher standard, which is also going to make you happy. So all of these things, like if you put them all together, guys, don't cheat. That makes people unhappy, right? Don't be a cunt. Biss made me put this in here today. She wanted me specifically to say, be a good human being. Don't be a cunt.
Don't be a cunt. Don't be a see you next Thursday. Yeah, man.
Yeah. You know what's hilarious is I only see my boss on a Tuesday at the my Monday to Tuesday job. I only see him on Tuesdays. Every time he leaves, I'm like, see you next Tuesday.
Funny how that shit ties in, that's I don't know. It's interesting because a lot of people like nowadays, especially like in the online spaces, seem like like I like to troll, right? Everyone knows I'm kind of a chaos gremlin, thus the order of the eternal burning banana. But at the same time, like I only like to troll to an extent, when it's fun or funny and it's not going to hurt somebody, because outside of that, my mentality is always like, more or less steal from like Hollywood or Blockbuster, where like be kind, please rewind, kind of like it's cool to be kind, and you can change so much in a person's day by just throwing a smile, even unless you look like me.
You sound like a Kellogg's cornflakes commercial right now. It's cool.
I am
to
a
be
Kellogg's.
kind.
It's cool to be kind. It does,
Fucking
it's kind of cheesy,
Barney over here.
But
I love you.
It's kind of cheesy, but like it is though. It's an important thing. But again, it goes back like what UK was saying, like knowing your audience. Like I'm not gonna. I troll with UK all the fucking time. Same with Sam. Our core friend group, if you will. Like I pretty much troll on a fairly regular basis, if not like an always basis.
All right, I'm gonna cut you off right there, just so I can give context here. All right, so this guy says he trolls, and we used to play Sea of Thieves, and I wanted to, at the time, I was like really, really good, like with the cannons and driving the ships and stuff. And then, so we'd get into like an epic battle and I'm like, oh, we're going to destroy him. I was really competitive in this game. And then, so I'm standing on a freaking cannon and all of a sudden the whole ship is on fire. And I'm like, they didn't even shoot yet. Why are we on fire? And I'd go downstairs to see what's going on. There's a freaking banana on the grill. And it's just engulfed in flames, right? And I look and I'm like, Well, I'm playing with, I think it was Abyss, Zarya, me, and you at the time. And I
Mhm.
looked and I was like, who put a fucking banana on the grill? Jager, first one. No, not me. Zarya,
Yeah.
I didn't do it. I haven't been down there. Abyss, she's too innocent. She can do no wrongs. But I'd look again. I'd be like, Jaeger, did you just put a banana on the grill? No. And I'd ask him
No.
10 more times. Absolutely not. I would never do that. Fucking,
Wasn't me.
it was 100% Jaeger because I caught him in the act. The bastard. He's like, oh shit. I'm sorry.
Oh, my bad. I didn't realize it was gonna get that bad. You know, to be fair though, I would also like in the middle of one of these fights jump off of the ship and try to get on their ship and do the exact same thing. Okay, so I wasn't just doing it to UK, but I thought it was funny because you can like hide in a barrel and shit. For those of y'all that never played that game, you could hide in a barrel, and I would like literally be sitting there like watching them like trying to figure out where this fire's at. And they just keep coming down trying to put the fire out, you know. And it would just keep sparking again because no one would check the grill, and I would just be dying laughing, bro, like the whole time.
It's
you
like
know?
grabbing a keg and jumping off to someone who's chasing you and just blowing the
Just
keg up right
blowing
next
it
to him.
up, baby.
You
Yeah.
might not win that fight, but just the satisfaction of having that keg blow up next to him is just like,
It changed everything, you know. But you know, UK gave me a second chance, you know, and a
Mhm.
third, and a 12th, and a 15th.
Well, I think at this point you've got more chances than years America's been around. Happy birthday, by the way. 250
Yeah.
years. What a baby country.
What a baby country.
But yeah, second chances. Do people does everybody deserve? My English is horrible right now. Does everybody
Andy's
deserve a
British.
second chance? Yeah, it's my
I-
primary language. Still can't speak it.
I
It
think
really
that
is the hardest language to learn.
I think that it kind of depends on the situation. You know what I mean? And that kind of ties back into like the cheaters thing. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
cheating in a video game, it's kind of whatever. You're just a loser and sucks to suck.
But you
Get
don't
better.
deserve a second chance if you're cheating in a video game. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, like it depends on the scenario. You know what I mean? I think, you know, because we had one guy who just hated me for some fucking reason. I'm not gonna say his name because it's not worth it, but hated me for some reason. I actually didn't even know this individual did not like me,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
just showed up. I just showed up to the I don't remember if it was a stream or if it was just like in Discord or whatever, but they were just gone. You know.
Mhm.
And I think that that individual was given a second chance. Like, despite not liking me, the community had still tried to like have, you know, this individual around. But then they went off and did something fucked off and stupid towards Abyss, you know, the one who can do no wrong. You know, if I remember right, that's what happened, and that was just kind of like the final straw, right? Like,
Yeah.
and again, I didn't know about either of these things until the individual was gone. You know what I mean? So despite like the pure hatred this individual appeared to have for me, you know, we still gave him a second chance. And again, I didn't know that this guy didn't like me. I thought we were cool. You know, we played games and shit together, but for some reason didn't like me. So,
Mhm.
but
it's-
we still gave him a second chance.
And I'll say this too. At the time, it was another military individual. At the time, they were probably heavily drinking, you know, and stuff like that. And you not that that excuses anything, right? This individual was wasn't one of, it was the biggest supporter of me, financially, not emotionally. Um, and I'm talking like has given probably over 1,000 gifted subs, right? And to a certain degree, like you can forgive it once, right? But there's certain things you shouldn't overlook when it comes down to like financial gain from that moment. So, yeah, I probably gave more chances than I should have, but at the same time, um, there's just only so many buttons you can push before there's one on the keyboard that is an eject button. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and you know, like and like what I said earlier too, like being nice isn't always a good thing. You know, we
Mhm.
could have like kept like letting that person just get away with what they're doing and effectively like reinforcing their behavior is what we would
Mhm.
have done. You know,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't have been good. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't have been good. But I also think in like a side note too, like most people quit too early, you know, when it comes to like talking about like second chances and whatnot. That kind of falls into like their mentality. And so like people and which again kind of goes back to our other topics, but like people who haven't achieved what they were set out to achieve, you know, like with that particular individual joining the military and shit, their life probably wasn't as is what they expected. You know what I mean? And they gave up early on it, and then they became that. You know what I mean? Where they're like this toxic, not worth having around kind of person. And for us, that's a difficult thing because like we strive to try to make everyone feel included, try to strive to make everyone feel like a part of the community.
Yeah.
And when you're attacking one or more people in that community, you know, whether it be just like passive aggressively or not, you know, that's kind of an indication that they're going through some shit. You know what I mean? And we want to try to help, but there's only so far you can go. So like that's what I mean. Like being nice isn't always good because all we did was kind of reinforce that person's behavior until it got to a point where they said something fucked up to someone who definitely didn't deserve it. You know, and we just said, all right, fine, cutting ties.
And the thing is too, like I am nice to a fault. Like if you know me, yeah, I joke around a lot, and the way I joke around is I'm usually making fun of you, but at the same time, I'm one of the nicest people like ever. Like I will go out of my way to help just about anybody, right? But I'm nice to a fault, and the worst thing you can do is let people take advantage of you. So like just fix it. Like focus on what needs to be done. Don't be too nice. People will take advantage of you. People have taken advantage of me. Catholic Church was horrible for me.
God damn.
Did I just attack Catholic Church on the podcast? I think I did.
I think
Am
you
I sorry?
did.
Absolutely not.
Spectacles, testicles, wallet, watch. Everyone pray for this man. You know, sometimes you got to remember too, like you just don't. You
It's
don't
just
owe
the
everyone
priest
an
under
explanation.
your bed.
God, I love that woman.
She can
But
do
yeah,
no wrong.
So, but yeah, I think a lot of times people like have like going back to the accountability. A lot of people realize that or a lot of people need to realize that they're really their biggest obstacle for their own happiness and their own success. You know, success does require sacrifice to a degree. You know, and comfort really is the enemy of growth. But like at the same time, if you surround yourself with the right people, even though it sucks taking that hill that your commander wants to do, or just fucking going and doing this comment inspection, when you got the right people around you, as much as it sucks, you know, like you can sit there and bitch about it, but you're still getting the task done. You know what I mean? It makes it easier to get through it because misery does love company, right? You know, we know that. But you can have misery and still be kind of healthy about it. You know what I'm saying? As long as you got the right people around you when you're set on a task that you have to do, and you get it done together, even though you might be bitching about it the whole time, you're still getting it done and you're still achieving it, you know? And I think that's an important piece to remember, you know, when it comes to this topic personally.
If you could boil down this episode to like one key feature, what would you say the one key thing would be? So like for me, you can also say the same thing, but for me I would say surround yourself with positive people, and if you've got negative people in your life, you should probably learn to let go.
Well, you know, I think I'm going to kind of agree with that, honestly, because like what DB Nerd actually just said, it's important to realize you can't drag everyone up. Sometimes you just got to cut the rope. That's a really, I mean, honestly, like that's probably almost exactly what I would have said to your question, just because that is so, not just so on topic, but so crucial for people to understand. You know, like it's not giving up on someone if they're not willing to make changes to actually unfuck themselves. You know what I mean?
And
like you can only do so much for a person.
Yeah, I feel like it's important because like what he said, I just read it too. It's really important to realize that, let's say metaphorically, I can't speak again.
Like what?
You're holding on to one helium balloon, right? And it's making you float, and you want to bring all your friends with you. It's important to surround yourself with friends who are going to help self-elevate you, mentally, physically, whatever, emotionally. Some of those balloons, man, you might have to cut them loose, you know, like hanging off the edge of a cliff, you might have to cut someone loose because there's no way you're going to make it at top, dragging people with you who are going to hold you down.
Exactly, dude. And to Sam's point, keeping a very short rope, that's an important thing too, because sometimes, you know, like you get to a point like where you just have to cut them immediately. You know what I mean? And just kind of let them hang. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is.
I'm struggling right now not to say the thing I want to say.
You don't do it in the ARR, man.
I'm gonna keep it good, guys. Be proud
Yeah.
of me. See,
What a good man.
I have
What a good man.
the what is it called again? I have the accountability,
The
not to
accountability.
say it.
Well, what do I guess like my closing question then would be, what's like one harsh truth that changed your life for the better?
Harsh truth that changed my life for the better.
Mhm.
That I'm getting old, and I'm not the young guy I used to be.
So you accepted that?
I've
Is
accepted
this related
that.
to moving that couch?
I will neither confirm nor deny that moving that couch was probably the worst decision I ever made. When I was younger, I used to be able to carry a freaking 3-piece couch on my back and just bend over and let the whole thing just sit on my back. I messed myself up doing it to a 3-piece couch with a metal liner. But
Mhm.
the thing is, guys, I feel like you've got to realize your limits, and it goes with the same all these topics. You got to realize your limits, set realistic goals, and don't push yourself unrealistically. Right? There's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with asking for help, and we go over this every single episode. Every single
Well, I know we
episode.
do. I know.
There's
But
nothing
like,
wrong with asking for help, guys.
yeah, it's not. And this, I mean, I think that this is an important thing too, and this is why we always put it at the end
bend and
of
snap.
it. It's just making sure that people know that this is a resource that they can utilize. And if you're for some reason uncomfortable with using this, even though it's completely anonymous, more or less, you
It
can
is
always jump into
100%
our
anonymous.
yeah. You can just jump into our chat and talk with us, even if you just need to like have like a one-on-one talk or whatever. We'll do it, man. If you don't feel comfortable talking to a stranger about your issues, and you feel comfortable talking to these two weird-looking strangers, then reach out, man. Like we'll make it happen. Even if we're like on a stream, we have stopped midstream before to go and have a conversation with someone who needed it, and we'll do it again. So,
Yep.
we're cool with it. Even if you're not like a part of the community now and you show up, a little bit later, that's fine with us, man. So. But this is a very valuable resource, and that's why we always put it on the podcast to make sure that people can see it on the stream and whatnot.
Too many people are struggling alone and not reaching out to get help. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna give you the harsh truth, right? Because I've never said this out loud. It's always been a thought of mine. I'm gonna give you the harsh truth. If you're struggling with it alone and you're seriously contemplating, you need to grow some balls and start talking to people. If you are struggling to the point where you need help and you're seriously thinking about hurting yourself, you need to reach down below inside you. I've used this resource myself. I'm telling you right now. It took everything I had to reach out and do it. You need to do it. Stop being a freaking bitch about it and call the number or reach out to a best friend or something. I'm trying really hard not to say the silent thing out
Yes.
loud. But
Yes.
stop being a bitch. Get help. You won't
Yeah.
regret it.
Yeah, you can call or text, dude. It's just 988. It's super easy. Just call or text. And again, like if you don't feel comfortable doing that with them, reach out to one of us. We're here.
What was that?
Okay.
What was that?
Yeah. But that's all I got today, man. You got anything else?
I got nothing, guys. Again, guys, if you want to support the podcast, allowing us to do future episodes, if you really liked the old layout over this layout, let us know. Since I keep showing it anyway. I need to just delete it. But I didn't want to delete it in case we might use it again. But if you guys want to support us, reach out. We do accept donations. If you need help with your mental health or whatever, reach out to us or call or text 988. That's all I got, guys. If you want to see anything in future episodes, go ahead and comment on the video. It's going to be in Spotify in the next hour or so. It's going to be on YouTube in the next hour or so. Go ahead and leave a comment. Make sure you share it with people who you think will appreciate it too. We have gotten a lot of support for the podcast. We would like to try to grow more so we can reach more people and help more people. I feel like what we're doing is great, and we're really trying to include more people. We love all you guys for the support, all you guys in the chat. Just remember, it is a podcast, and we try to not read chat as often. It's nothing
We
personal.
try. It's mostly me.
But love you guys. Thank you for all the support we've gotten. This has been Reload and Reset. I'm UK Reject SP.
And I'm Jager After Dark.
See you guys next time.
See you next
Bye.
time. Wear your seatbelts. Be safe. Don't do anyone I would do.
And wrap it before you tap it.
Yeah, don't do that shit. That's gay.